Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This, of course, is another anime reaction video. Wait, what am I saying? Fuck, I can never get these intros done properly, god damn it. We're back for some more Gintama. That's what I wanted to say. And I don't even have the folder up yet. Something always goes wrong. Something always goes wrong. But we're actually here. We're finally here. Well, almost here at the 50 episode mark. So last video, I reacted to, you watched me react to episode 46, 47, and 48. God damn it. Why am I so bad at this? So now, I'm going to be reacting to, you're going to be watching me react to episode 49 and 50 of Gintama. So I'm thinking maybe there might be opening change because there was the second OP came in at episode 25, so about 50 should be where the OP changes again. I could be wrong. They could be different every time, but it doesn't really matter because we're about to get into episode 49 of Gintama. As always, link in the description to Pixel Train or BitChute where you can watch the full uncut reaction. So go ahead to one of those, watch the reaction, and then come back here on YouTube for the discussion. Okay, so that was another really fun episode, except for there was a bit towards like pretty much the whole mahjong thing, even though I was still really interested to see the outcome of the game, and it was really entertaining to see Gintoki pull pull that out of his ass, and then Hasegawa managing to fumble his way into a really rare situation. That was a lot of fun, but admittedly at the beginning of the beginning of the mahjong game I was kind of lost, mostly because I just didn't understand anything. I don't know how mahjong works, and look, I know some of you write some long comments to explain things, and I really appreciate it, but please don't write a long paragraph that explains the rules of mahjong. I'm not about to read about how to play mahjong when mahjong is probably never going to come up in an episode of Gintama ever again. But first of all, can we talk about that? ED at the beginning, and then the OP in the style of an ED at the end. This is a very good ED. I like it. That was a good way to celebrate the first year of Gintama. No doubt, probably pretty tumultuous, I think might be the word I'm looking for. Because from what I'm hearing, it didn't have the greatest start. Going beyond people saying that they dropped the show early on because it's not what they expected, because people only talk about the very best parts of a show when they're discussing series that they've watched in full. They usually don't talk about all of the smaller things that, while are probably still good, aren't like as good as like the peaks of the series or whatever. So, but I have no idea how it was like for this show back when it was first airing. Obviously, it was like 2006, didn't get as much budget as other high-profile shonens, but obviously it's at least popular enough to eventually get a conclusive like anime ending or whatever. Like it got animated to the very end, which is awesome, because so far, I can tell from what I can tell this so far, Gintama absolutely deserves it. And this episode, outside of the sort of confusion and like, I don't know what I would describe the feeling, but like outside of that, when it came to mahjong, again another really entertaining series, my favorite part, of course, had to be Hasegawa catching a dub this episode. Goddamn, Hasegawa's had life against him his entire life, and now he's finally he's won the game for them, basically, because I was saying, like, just because they got him, got Akage in the nude, doesn't mean they were guaranteed to win. Hasegawa, my man Hasegawa, pulled it out in the end. God bless his soul. I hope the best for him. Oh fuck, that's right. And I kind of like how they, I think I've mentioned it before, like the style where like they only give you as much information that is needed to get you invested in what's going on in the episode, but doesn't give you so much information that it wastes time and ultimately is pointless because it's not something that's going to be super relevant in episodes later. I like how they kind of did that for Kanbei's backstory, because he's still a mystery even after watching this entire episode. He's given out advice. He was revered as this huge, popular fortune teller, gambler guy. He's revealed as a fraud, but even so, he's a good guy, basically. I don't remember off the top of my head what he said about if he said anything about about his motivations for continuing to gamble, or why he gambled in the first place. But you can tell he's a good guy because of even though he was cheating at the beginning, he was still trying to give good advice to people that he didn't even know, complete strangers, Gintoki and Hasegawa. And then there's the story about how he sacrificed his right eye, which may or may not have had something to do with his fortune telling, his luck or whatever. That's not really important. But what was really important is that he gave up something that was clearly very precious to him for the sake of his friend. So I think that was a really cool thing that they did with this character. And I don't really get the significance of the lady looking at that one mahjong piece. So I don't know if I'm missing something. I don't know if it's within the rules of mahjong and I just don't get it. But I'm sure if anyone does explain it in the comments, that will be greatly appreciated, because I don't know exactly what that was supposed to mean. If anything at all, really. Could mean nothing at all. But yeah, really interesting. Really, really cool episode. Not my favorite gambling episode in an anime. To be fair, there aren't very many that I can think of at the top of my head. The other one I can think of is in part 3 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but that was amazing. This one, not as good, but still really good as a Gintama episode. Really enjoyed it. One of my favorite jokes was when Gintoki stripped. And he got into that really... Oh my god. What a guy, though. Look at that. Look at him. Bro. Listen. I don't know if I can keep watching this show anymore, dude. Gintoki has me questioning a lot of things right now. But damn, that's all I had to say about this episode. Let's get into the next episode. Alright, let's get into episode 50 of Gintama. Probably not going to have the same ED, which is kind of unfortunate. I really liked the ED in episode 49, but I guess I'll get over it. We're starting with episode 50. Maybe not a new OP. We'll see. We're about to get started. Oh boy. That was a lot of references. I want to look this up, because this seems like a filler episode. I loved it, but this seems like it would be a filler episode. But don't get me wrong, this was a great episode. This was probably the best filler episode I've ever seen. Yeah, it is filler episode. Pending means pending. It's not final. Apparently, there's going to be a filler episode in episode 57. Okay. It has a low amount of filler, Gintama does, but goddamn, if all filler is similar to this episode, at least in quality, not like same concept, like I probably wouldn't, unless it was even funnier than the last time. I don't think I would enjoy the same episode concept be doing a second time, like a second time where they brainstorm new ideas to take the story of Gintama, where they could, when they were to make sure that they stay on air. But this is a great episode. Like I was saying, if all filler is at least this high quality, then I am so on board. Not only did it have a lot of fun like references and like creative like changes or whatever, there was a lot of great like subtle jokes. I'm surprised they didn't make jokes about filler as a concept. Like, this is filler not only to like poke fun at the situation they're in, but also, I assume, just to like give themselves a little bit more time for other things, which, now that I think about it, maybe not entirely true. This might have been planned like a long time ago, like this, at least using this as a kind of episode they wanted to try and do for fun. And the reason I say that is because there's some noticeable like increases in animation quality in several of the animation like parts, when it comes to their stories. I think the one I'm thinking of the most is from Otose's and Catherine's thing. So real quick, let me find. Here we go. I think. Yeah. They're in the transformation sequence. That is needlessly well animated. It did not need to look that good, bro. I'm telling you. Like, this is not like filler like other filler that's low quality because they needed to give the manga more time. This is filler that the staff wanted to work on. They clearly put a lot of effort into this because not only did they change up the art style to make it obviously a lot more different from regular Gintama, but they also improved animation here, which is incredible. Shows how much they love the series. Not only the series, but the characters. I like R&B or like hip hop. Katsura. That's pretty good. And even in his alternate story, he always goes Zura janai, Katsura da. He'll never escape that. Unfortunately not much to talk about in terms of actual like discussion about what happened in this episode other than pointing out what was funny. But I love the new OP and ED. Those are amazing. I'm sure there's a lot that I'm missing, but something that I thought was interesting in the opening is you have Gintama looking at them, and then he looks off somewhere else. The two of them notice, and they're sort of watching him. And the way I'm kind of interpreting this shot is like he's far away, he's distanced himself from them, and he's looking backwards. He's looking far away, possibly maybe a metaphor for him remembering his past or something, and they're ahead, looking back, waiting for him to catch up to them, type thing, you know? And there's another sort of similar kind of thing. So, yeah, in here, in this shot, he's looking kind of down. He's upset, looking away. And then he decides he's done. He closes his eyes, stops looking at it, turns away, and decides to try and walk away, presumably in a metaphorical way of like he's walking away from his past. But he can't run away from certain things where he's at currently, and that's kind of turned into a joke. But who knows? Who knows if I'm reading too deep into it. But more character stuff. Lots of character stuff. We don't see much of Takasugi in the OP, but we see him in the ED a lot, which is really interesting. So to me, that would imply he's going to show up a lot more often in these episodes. I swear to God, if the episodes where we have this ED don't have Takasugi, even in most of the episodes, I'm going to feel gypped. But in this section, we have Gintoki powering up. I don't know if that's actually going to be something that happens in the anime or if that's just like a cool visual thing for the OP. But it looks like Gintoki is smiling in this situation. And then it cuts to him waking up from a dream. So I don't know if that's to imply he was just having like a fun little dream where he was imagining himself with a cool power-up, and then he wakes up and that's it. Oh, that's probably a reference to when Ichigo used Bankai for the first time. I just realized because it's like an energy blast while he holds his sword like that. Never mind. So I was gonna say maybe it's like also like a foreshadowing to when he eventually has to fight Takasugi, like how the ED was doing. It's foreshadowing their fight. In the ED, we had a lot of shots of the past. I like the art style they chose for this ED. The line work is a lot more defined, so it's more how do I put it, intense looking. And then I like how they focus on Takasugi a lot, which is really interesting. He starts off looking crazy, then there are memories of the past. Lots of some other characters, some new characters we haven't seen yet. Takasugi and him are about to fight. I could have sworn... Okay, so here we have what Takasugi looks like during the war and before something happened to his eye. And then, is it just me or does he look less evil right now? Like, he looks super evil when he first appears. Where is it? Here we go. He's got a super evil smile on his face. And then after we go through a bunch of reminiscing about the past, and we're seeing some characters we haven't seen personally, Fuck, it's so hard to, like, get precisely where I want to be. Where is it? But he has, like, a bit of a softer smile. I'm not crazy, am I? Come on. Yeah, there we go. Here we go. At this point, his smile seems a lot softer. He seems more. It seems more like a smug smile, like a smirk, than it does like an evil smile. And it cuts to these people, who we haven't met before, but they must be somewhat important to him. Maybe, even though they don't have like the same beliefs about what to do with themselves post-war, the war that they lost, maybe they're trying to set up like a duality thing, or like Takasugi and Gintoki, their only difference is how they choose to live their lives after the war, but they're similar in the fact that they both have a group of people right now that they spend their time with, and that they consider family, and so that might introduce some interesting, bits of a conflict between Takasugi and Gintoki later down the line, and I think that might be backed up by this imagery of them with their backs faced to each other, sort of like two coins and two sides of the same coin. You know what I'm saying? With Takasugi, the way he moves closer when they're about to fight, he gets more of a crazed look on his face. So that's just my take on it so far. I wonder what we're gonna be getting to in the future. That's pretty much all I had to say about this episode, though. So if you enjoyed this Gintama reaction, make sure to press the like button. If you really hated it, press the dislike button. Whatever works for you, And if you want to see more, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single upload. Thank you all again for watching.